Hi, parents. I just wanted to take a quick minute to give you guys a tool to help you guys out. Um, I this last Sunday we're in a series called "I Have a Friend Who," where we've been discussing, certain taboo subjects. We talked about alcohol on the party scene. We talked about sex last week, and this week we talked about media and media consumption. And without getting into the entire talk, really, the premise we use is we said, maybe you have a friend who believes they're not affected by media consumption. Basically, you might have a friend that says, "Oh, I can watch or listen to whatever I want to," and it really ultimately does not have an effect on me. And we wanted to kind of confront that. We wanted to see, hey, what does Scripture say about the media that we should be intaking, and then how does the media that we actually consume, how does it either agree or disagree with what Scripture says? And so we read Philippians 4:8 through 9. You can read that for yourself if you like, but basically saying, okay, whatever is true, noble, right, pure, all those things, that's what God calls us to think about. Is the media that we're watching meeting that standard that God has called us to? So what I did was I showed the lyrics of some of the more popular songs of the last. Showed some examples from TV shows and some movies. And what really struck me was as we were doing the music section, there were a lot of students. I got to be in two rooms as I watched this. There were a lot of students that I saw singing the songs as they were being read on the screen, kind of missing the point fundamentally, but the reality is that a lot of these students, they're not unfamiliar with what's happening. And I thought, you the parents might not be familiar with what some of these songs that your students have memorized are saying. And so I just wanted to give you guys this tool, this opportunity to just see what it is that your students are listening to and unfortunately memorizing. Yeah, so no sense of judgment or anything. I just wanted to help make you aware. And so here's a clip from the video that we watched together at U. Now the fun part. Let's when we get to take a look at the world we live in and see just how ridiculous some of the stuff we listen to and watch truly is, it's a little bit appalling. So this part is going to be awkward because I am just going to say things that are in our media today, but there's going to be no catchy beat. And so some of the stuff I'm going to say, you're going to go, ooh, I really didn't like hearing that like that, but we have to recognize that this is stuff that is actually dominating our culture today. So I've got some examples from some songs, from some TV shows, and from some movies. So buckle up. So I went to the top songs of 2017. Okay, and I'm not going to be just biased towards one form of media. I've got some country songs in here as well. It's all of it. And so I want to just let's take some time and just listen to or read what some of these songs actually say. Okay, a very popular one, "Rockstar" by Post Malone, in Spotify and in iTunes. It's one of the top songs right now. Take away the catchy beat, and here's what this song says. I've been blanking blanks and popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star. All my brothers got that gas, and they always be smoking like a Rasta. Blanking with me, call up an Uzi, and show up, man them the shatas. When my homies pull up on your block, they make that thing go, and then that's supposed to be the sound that a gun makes. What's being said here? Clearly, Post Malone thinks that he has reached this spot in life where he's achieved it all. And what is that achievement? It's having sex with random women and taking drugs. And if there's anything that ends up being disrespectful towards him, if he gets in beef, what does he do? He hires people to go kill them. Okay, this is what this song is saying. Let's go to another one. Lil Pump, Gucci Gang. That is a very, very popular song. Let's see what he says here. Very poetic. Gucci Gang, 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 and another Gucci Gang. Spend 10 racks on a new chain. My blank love do cocaine. Ooh. I blank a blank, I forgot her name. I can't buy a blank no wedding ring. Lil Pump is 17 years old. 17!
And what he's saying, first off, he's just repeating himself nonsensically. I'm going to spend $10,000 on a new chain. This girl that I'm with, she loves taking drugs. I sleep with another girl. I forget her name. Whatever. Doesn't really matter, right? I can't buy her a wedding. You can spend 10 racks on a new chain. You can spend $10,000 on a new chain, but you certainly can't buy some random woman that you're having relations with a wedding ring. Yeah. Again, very, very popular song, right? This is what we're intaking, and whether or not we think we have to recognize that this is actually what's being communicated. Probably one of the most popular rap songs of all 2017, right? Migos, Bad and Bougie. Raindrops, drop tops, not going to do all the other words. Smoking on cookie in the hot box. Blinking on your blank, thought. Cooking up dope in the crock pot. We came from nothing to something, blank. I don't trust nobody, grip the trigger. Call up the gang, they come and get you. Cry me a river, give you a tissue. My blank is bad and bougie. Cooking up dope with an Uzi. My blank is savage ruthless. We got 30s and 100 rounds too. Now, what's being communicated here? You're sleeping with a woman again that is not someone that you're in a marriage with, calling her degrading names, literally cooking up dope in a crock pot with the butt of an Uzi. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, we're talking about cooking drugs and using violent weapons in this process. And you might be laughing right now, and I get it, but I mean, would we ever say this stuff in a normal conversation? Ever? No, probably not. Okay, so those were some of the most ridiculous examples that I could find. Okay, clearly rap has a reputation like that where they're going to use overly crass lyrics, but you know what? It's not just those songs. Some of our most popular pop songs. If we take away the catchy beat, if we take away the name, and just listen to what's being communicated, we might be a little concerned. Let's look at Maroon 5. Don't want to know. Okay, I don't want to know. No. Yep, who's taking you home? Repeat it. And loving you so. Repeat it. The way I used to love you. No, I don't. And he repeats it, right? Wasted, and the more I drink, the more I think about you. Oh no, I can't take it. Baby, every place I go reminds me of you. So, again, this isn't as crass as some of the songs we just listened to, but what's being communicated here? What's being communicated is this person that they've broken up with is around probably having intimate relations with other people, and it's affecting him so much that he can't stop drinking. It's affecting him in a really negative way, and this can possibly be the result of having intimacy before marriage and having it in a really unfortunate spot. So even the world is communicating when I get myself in these types of relationships, what ends up happening is I can't take it and I have to drink in order to, have the pain go away. Bruno Mars, that's what I like. Okay, got a condo in Manhattan, baby girl, what's happening? You and your blank invited, so go and get to clapping. Go pop it for a player. Pop it for me. Turn around and drop it for a player. Drop it for me. I'll rent a beach house in Miami. Wake up with no jammies. Lobster tail for dinner. Julio served that scampi. You got it if you want it. Got it if you want it. Said you got it if you want it. Take my wallet if you want it. Now, again, what's being communicated here? What I just said, if I were to say that in normal conversation, I mean, I'm sure some of you are laughing at the fact that I was just saying that now because it's a ridiculous thing to say. And I mean, really, what's being communicated is the goal of life, especially with Bruno Mars. He's saying, "I've got all this stuff. Why don't you and your body just come over here and we'll do what adults do?" But really, the focus is not on her personality. It's not focused on anything that is pure or right or anything like that. It's just, I've got money, you've got a body. Let's put the two together. All right. Again, not as crass, but when we actually look at what's being said, it can be a little bit damaging. Ed Sheeran, one of the most popular songs out there, Shape of You. Again, without the catchy beat, just read here what is actually being said. Okay? The club isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go. Me and my friends at the table doing shots, drinking fast, and then we talk slow. Come over and start up a conversation with just me, and trust me, I'll give it a chance. Take my hand, stop, put Van the Man on the jukebox, and then we start to dance. Okay? So again, recognizing that clubs are not a good place to find wives or husbands, but the bar might be. So, we start drinking and things happen, and then he says, girl, I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on, I'll follow my lead. I may be crazy, don't mind me. Let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on me. Yeah. I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too, I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room. Now my bedsheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your body. Now, some of the guys might be listening to this and going, yeah, what's the issue? Ask the girls in your group if this is something that, this is the only thing you'd want to hear from a guy, especially if you're trying to find someone to be with. Is the only thing you want to know is that they're in love with your body, or is there other things that you might want to follow? And I mean, he literally actually says the lyric, although my heart is falling too, I'm in love with your body. So yeah, my heart is falling somewhere, but man, it's really your body that again, it's this overly sexualized culture. We're in it. We hear it all the time, but we hear it so much and so often that we don't think it affects us. Okay, so that's some of the music. We'll go a little bit quicker here on the TV shows. And let me say too, I can't in good conscience actually show you some of the videos that accompanied those songs, because I'd lose my job. But let's just certainly say they don't fit anywhere into where God's puzzle piece is. Some TV shows. Again, I'm one of the worst offenders here, so please, I realize I'm being hypocritical. I realize I've shown one of these shows at youth group before, so have some grace with me. But TV shows like Family Guy, they joke about things like abortion and murder. There is a whole song that Family Guy does where the premise is a girl drops her newborn baby in the dumpster, and then it begins a musical number. Right? They rip on organized religion, mental disabilities, sexual orientation, racism. There's drug and alcohol abuse. There's rape jokes. We would never joke about those things outside of this context. South Park. There's an episode where Cartman literally pretends to be mentally disabled so he can win the Special Olympics. I mean, extreme racism. I mean, there is an episode, right, where the main character, Cartman, ends up killing the parents of one of his peers, puts them in a chili bowl, and makes the kid eat his own parents. And then we laugh at that, because it's put in the context of humor, but if we saw that story on the news, I don't know if we'd be able to sleep that night. It'd be that horrible. Okay, but it's other shows like The Bachelor. You have this unhealthy emotional attachment, this promiscuity that's promoted. Any one of you would not be happy about someone who you're romantically interested in just kissing a bunch of people for a couple of weeks and getting really romantically involved. That's not how it works. They exploit feelings. I know it's not as popular anymore, but Teen Mom, right? There's this exploitation of poor life choices, unhealthy exposure for infant children, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, this glorification of irresponsibility. We have shows like Game of Thrones, where I know that some people literally just watch it for the sex scenes that are in it. There's just unnecessary nudity and unnecessary violence. You think of our culture's acceptance of certain things. When Friends, the TV show, came out, pornography was a much more taboo subject, but the TV show made it a lot more acceptable to talk about and think about pornography. Think about our culture's complete embrace of same-sex attraction and marriage. Before there was a show, Modern Family, before that show came out, there weren't really any married couples, but with the bringing in of that show and having a very, very no problem, no promiscuous, just same-sex couple, all of a sudden our culture became very okay with that and really not having a problem with it. Teen suicide, and we're going to talk about that next week, is one of the biggest epidemics that our country faces recently. Is it any shock that one of the reasons that our media, 13 Reasons Why, is one of the most popular shows on Netflix? And it's literally all about, and I don't want any of you to go watch it, but I mean, literally, there's two very graphic rape scenes in there, and you see a girl take her own life. Yeah, how can that not affect us? movies, right? Some of the most popular movies out there today, R-rated superhero movies with Deadpool and Logan, and these have become like the new standard. Like, yes, these are the movies we want to see. It, I went and saw it, so I'm not. I saw the movie It, and I'll tell you what, I was terrified by it. I mean, I still have nightmares about it sometimes, and it freaks me out. In that movie, a demonic entity takes the form of your deepest fear. And I talked to some of you about it, and you said that I was a wuss for being scared of that. Think about that. Think about the consequence of that. You think that I was being a wuss for being scared over something that is absolutely terrifying. But that's how callous we've become. There's movies like Don John. That was an old one, but again, this is where the world kind of agrees with us. It's a story of a man who can't connect to women because he's addicted to watching pornography. It sees religion as this set of rules to follow when you sin. There's graphic pornographic material shown. The F word is used over 120 times. The S word used over 150 times. 21 Jump Street. I know that that's supposed to be a really funny, fun movie for teens to see, but there's a lot of sexual promiscuity. The F word's used over 125 times. There's racial slurs. There's this glorification of alcohol and life-threatening drug use, something that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. It glorifies it. One example I forgot to give. It's the country song, Sam Hunt. It's a very popular song. We sung it on the way back. I heard this song a couple times. Body Like a Back Road. Driving with my eyes closed, I know every curve like the back of my hand. Doing 15 and a 30, I ain't in no hurry, I'm taking it slow just as fast as I can. The way she fit in them blue jeans, she don't need no belt, but I can turn them inside out, I don't need no help. Got hips like honey, so thick and sweet, it ain't no curves like hers on them downtown streets. That was awkward for me to say, and it should be, because it's very sexual.
There was more to that talk, and so if you're interested at all in having me send the whole thing to you, I'm more than willing. But what I'm hoping is that as you saw those lyrics, and as you saw some of the stuff that your students are being exposed to, right below here, you're going to see a bunch of links for some music videos to those songs. I couldn't show them at youth group because I would get in trouble. But be warned, there's some vulgarity, there's some graphic content. But if you would mind just taking a quick minute just to survey a couple of them, see what the media that they're listening to is, but see also what it is that they're watching. And I would just encourage you as the parent. Not telling you what to do, not telling you how to raise your kids, but I would just encourage you to maybe ask them what their favorite songs are. I'm not saying all these kids know that this is their favorite song, or that I'm not even saying that this is their favorite song, but I would just encourage you to ask them, hey, what are your favorite songs, and what are the lyrics to those songs, and how might those lyrics be affecting you? It would just be an interesting conversation to see what they say. Be interesting to see if they actually do think that these lyrics or this media that they're listening to is affecting them or not. And please, if you have any interesting conversations or you have any nuggets of wisdom that you can share with me as you ask your student this, I would love to hear from you. So hopefully this was helpful, and hopefully that this is... I certainly don't want to scare you. I don't want to give you any more anxiety, but hopefully this gives you an opportunity to just connect with your student in just a small way this week. So God bless.